What are the problems, though, bringing up a child without a father?
Most of them are literally the difficulties of being one person as opposed to two people. So if you're late back from work or the trains aren't running, whoever it is who's looking after them or whoever's had them next door for tea is in a panic, and you're sitting on a train somewhere thinking, I don't know how to get back to get... They're actually practical problems. They're not moral problems at all. And there are women all over the world who are one parent, and men, a lot of men too, who are one parent or single parent families, not for any of the reasons that necessarily they're unmarried, but perhaps they're divorced or widowed. It's quite possible to do. All you've got to do is to do it properly. It's the same as doing anything else. The only difficulties are just not getting home in time, you know.
Does it force you into a situation whereby you might marry in haste, say, to provide a father for that child?
No, because every child, even test tube babies, have got a father. I mean, whether they see them or don't see them, or they're dead, or they live in another country, or they're divorced, or got remarried, everybody's got a father. I think this is the ghastly thing of fatherless children. They're not fatherless. Everybody's got a mother and a father, everybody who ever walked on this earth, and that's all that matters. And then they can be brought up by a bunch of old loonies, quite honestly. As long as the loonies love them, it doesn't matter the scrap. It's true, that's the only thing that really matters, is people loving other people, you know.
But you're single, aren't you? I mean, do you get many proposals of marriage?
I do, Michael. Quite often I think they're probably a compliment. People just saying, I love your dress, and will you marry me? Perhaps they want to marry the dress, but I mean, I think it's actually a way of complimenting you, saying that I think you're so nice. I didn't really believe it a lot of the time. It was, you know, when you're at school, again, having vowed not to kiss the beasts, you did actually long for them to marry you. And it would be considered terribly sort of exciting if somebody said, I'd love to see you in the halls. And you go, oh, he wants to see me. Those days are gone, you know. And I can only see people as friends or not friends. Luckily, mostly friends.
Is there a problem, actually, in being a beautiful woman? I mean, people would, a lot of people looking in would envy you, your beauty, but I mean, is there another side?
It's not really, you see. It's not really beautiful. If you get to know a face a lot, and if people say it's beautiful enough, a lot, all over the place, and you put it in a lot of photographs, people go, oh, she's lovely. But if I was working behind the counter in a chemist's shop, and people bought stuff up, and they wouldn't look at me twice. Actually, in a chemist's shop they would, because I'd have painted it all up. But in the bakery, they wouldn't look twice at me, and there are masses of very, very much prettier people than I around. And masses of much prettier people than who go into the Miss World competitions, and I pass them every day in the street. You think, gosh, she's lovely. And then you see the Miss Worlds. I mean, God rest them. They're not the prettiest girls in the world.
No, that's true. But nonetheless, I mean, your beauty is part of your job. It is your job, isn't it? And I'm wondering about the sort of lengths you would go to preserve your beauty. I mean, would you, for instance, I mean, well, let's come out with it, Parky.
Come on, be blunt,
yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, well, there was a story in the newspaper recently that you were going to have a bottom uplift. Or bottom lift.
Did anybody read about that? Did anybody believe it?
They all believed it.
You see, this is the dreadful thing. I mean, I was caught in the position of either being seen to have no humour at all, which is how I've come out of it, having no humour, because I've actually denied it. A whole lot of people said, oh, who cares? What a lovely laugh, what a joke. But I got very sensitive. If somebody said that I'd had a nose job, and I haven't had a nose job, I'd say, but I haven't, because it all goes into the newspaper file, and is written down as gospel truth. And of course, then on to the endless string of convent-educated Indian Army officer father would be bum uplifted. Well, I mean, I don't need that.
What you're trying to tell us, I mean, that's your own bottom.
Yes.
That's very good. But I didn't realise until I read that piece that you could have your bottom uplifted or lifted.
I think they can do anything.
Can they?
Yes, they can do anything.